Hi guys, White Warlock here. This is gonna be the final video for Red Blue items at least the set 4 version. And in this video, I want to talk about the list that won the challenge in Bologna. It's really insane, like watching it play to like watch like quote unquote my baby, right? Win a big tournament like this. Obviously, the list is quite different, but it's still like the same concept, and yeah, it's really cool to see it win. Um, yeah, it dodged Emerald Steel in Swiss, but like the matchup is not that bad. But especially with 4 workshops, right? But yeah, that was pretty cool to see how it won the tournament. The person that won made the deck himself, at least that's what he told me. But yeah, it's very close to the list that we would be at if we would play it in Bochum. The way we played it in Bochum and how we would play it in Bologna. Obviously, I played Emerald Steel, and well, it went okay, but not great. Not didn't make day two. Didn't get a let it go. But well, this list won the tournament, so that's really cool. So I'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'll talk about what list I would play in Toronto because Toronto is still set 4. I'm currently going to switch to set 5 on Friday, beginning on Friday, because then I get my cards and there's no tournament for set 4 anymore anywhere near me. Obviously, I have promised to give you a link for or yeah, give you an idea for Blurple on set 4 post Bucky, so I'll do that as well. But yeah, we'll stick with we'll mostly focus on set 5. But first, obviously, talking about this list. So this list plays 4 ice blocks, which is pretty interesting. The list by Elie, by the way, that one, well, he won. It was almost 1900 players, not a full 2048, unfortunately. There were a lot of no-shows in round 1, even though it was sold out, so that was kind of weird. Um, so let's start with the items. So he plays 23 items. He plays 4 ice block, which is 1 more than we're used to and 2 more than I would recommend. But obviously this is with Bucky still existing, so the ice blocks are a little bit better. Um, he plays 4 popsicles, which is normal. 2 shields, which is kind of normal. 3 Vitalispheres, that's a little bit much, but I like it, especially against red purple, right? Vitalisphere is pretty good, so nice. Only 3 fishbone quills. When I talked to him, when he talked in the Discord, in the 20 Lord Pro Discord, he said that you never want to play it uh, as a 3-drop, right? You want to get it from Queen only, and that's correct. So yeah, 3 is also okay, but I would always play 4 fishbones. He plays 1 Maui Fishhook. It's a good card against red purple, and with more red purple, you could look at playing it. I would personally not play it. I would just keep playing Vitalispheres, but I don't think the 4th damage increase is necessary. But it's a nice one. Um, then he plays 4 Marie's Workshop instead of 3. So the idea is that, like against Bucky, you might want 4, or against like yellow green discard, you might want 1/4. However, no, with Bucky no longer existing for Toronto, I would definitely not play 4. I think 3 is enough, and then the normal 2 Lucky Dimes. For 2 drops, he doesn't play LeFou, but instead plays the 4 Scuttles and the 3 Gaston. So the Gaston's pretty interesting, especially in a list with more ice blocks. It gets a little bit better. But it is very risky, and in some metas it's completely unplayable. In other metas it's well, pretty okay. I'm not a fan of it myself because it's a card that forces you to do things that you don't want to, and I don't like that playstyle. However, there are people that like him that like to play the list. So yeah, um, it's an interesting, good combination with like the full 4 ice blocks. If you don't play the full 4 ice blocks like I do, then I probably wouldn't play Gaston. Scuttle is obviously good. The only reason I'm not playing Scuttle is because I think we have to play Pegasus. Um, if like for Toronto to deal with the red purple matchup, and um, yeah, and you still want to play the LeFou in my opinion. So then there's no room for Scuttle. But otherwise, it's just always a good card, right? He plays three human Sisu, that's normal. For the Queen Diviner, obviously, that's normal. For Hiram, that's normal. Three Maui, that's also normal, but I'm probably gonna switch to two Mauis and one Hercules because in for Toronto, if I would play in Toronto, I would switch to two Maui and one Hercules because well, red purple is going to exist a lot more, I think, and Hercules is really good against red purple to deal with the castles. Like you might need one to deal with the castle because Maui doesn't one shot a castle, obviously. Then the two Sisu, the big Sisus, which is normal, and the four Tamatoas, which is also normal. So for songs, he plays three repaireds, which is also normal. However, he plays three additional songs that we don't. I like having almost no songs, so Ursula, the green Ursula, doesn't do anything against us basically. And he plays three songs that like deal with your opponent. Obviously, he says he always mulligans them though, like you only want to draw them. But I think Thief Inhibitions itself is actually a really bad card. Um, he's like the creator in the deck says it was a good card in Discord, but I don't see how um, like the like it kills your Gaston, and it's okay, it's fine with a Skuntle, but the rest you don't really want that damage on it. And it's not really like you want to sing Thief with Queen and Hiram, right? So I personally don't really see the appeal of Thief. With the death of Bucky list and less Diablos in the field, I would definitely not play it in Toronto. Do not play Thief in Toronto. Um, yeah, I don't see why you would need to. Um, like it helped him, and there are definitely good things about Thief, but I think the card is pretty bad. And then he plays one Let It Go. So Let It Go is a fine removal spell, right? I just hate playing one drops, and especially if they're not items you can get with the Queen. And I would not play a a one off song because they can get it from Ursula, right? So they can Ursula it, and then you're screwed if it's like an inkable you need it. Um, so yeah, I don't personally like playing songs in this list except for Be Prepared. So uh, yeah, I mean, there's some use of removal, right? But I just hate playing one-offs that are not necessary. The only reason I would play one-offs is in the Blurple deck with Merlin. So next set I might be playing one-offs, but for a good reason. And then finally four brawls, which is normal. You have to play four brawls. Even in Toronto, you will need to play four brawls. So this is the list that won Bologna. It's a really interesting list. It has some cards I would never play in this deck, but that's always cool to see other people. I've never really thought about Gaston actually, so Gaston might be better than I give it credit for. But I haven't really seen it perform, and I haven't never tested it myself. And it's a shame I didn't have the time to test it or didn't have the thought think like didn't think about testing it before Bochum, but yeah, Bologna I wasn't playing this deck anyway, so yeah, it's cool though. It's cool. It's really cool to see that it won. And now I'll show you what list I would play in Toronto. It's Anthony's list from the Discord, from Trinity Pro Discord. He's like yeah the first person that really paid like gave me attention to this list and yeah worked on it with me uh, a lot. So yeah, I respect him a lot, and this is basically like his list, and I would copy it completely. I think this is basically what I would want to play, except that the two Magnificent Dragon is not really what I like, but it's like your removals, but it's like your Let It Go. He like this list plays, but a little bit later, and it can't be get by Ursula. So that is what I do like about it. And maybe in a little bit of slower meta with more red blue Maleficent might become more interesting. Obviously, I used to play like Maurice, but I think with the death of Bucky and more red purple and probably more red blue as well. You don't want to play Maurice. Like Maurice is so bad against red decks. So yeah, maybe we should just return to Dragon. The other thing you could try out is Aladdin. That's an interesting one, especially against red purple. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. But that could be the swap for the Maleficent Dragon if you don't like the Maleficent Dragon. You just want it to be an inkable high, like a relatively high cost character that does things to stop you from losing. Maleficent Dragon stops you from losing by killing a card. Aladdin can stop you from losing from draining lore, and especially with Vitalisphere, it's a really interesting combination. So yeah, we play the differences from like my previous list is that we play Pegasus now. This is like a development from Sailor, yeah, the list Sailor's normal red blue list, and he plays Pegasus to deal with red purple, and he said, and I agree with him that it really makes a lot of difference. I think it's a really good card. They can't really deal with it at all, and you can just contest the Flynn and then contest the castles with it. So it's a really good card, and it can just quest for a million against red purple. Like they can't they they just can't deal with this. Um, the rest is basically the same as normal, except that we also play Aurora. So this is a new tech for like scrying out your deck, right? And trying to find what you need. And I think this is yeah, this was a really good card when I tested it, but I liked the Maurice more. But this was like a close second for the Maurice, and I think now with Maurice being bad because there's gonna be a lot of red decks in Toronto, in my opinion. Like I think there's gonna be a lot of red decks. I think Aurora can definitely um, do some work to like hopefully get a little bit more scrying effect or more consistency in the deck because that is what the deck sometimes lacked, like consistency. Sometimes you had a lot of items, but you couldn't really do anything because you didn't have that workshop. And Aurora can like exert your items and look to the top card, so you can dig for like a Tamatoa or a Dime if you need that, or a workshop or a Hiram if you need more cards. It also, we also switched from 3 Maui to 2 Maui and the Hercules. I talked about a little bit about it before, but that's mainly to kill castles in in a meta where we can expect a lot more red purple, and otherwise it is basically the same. We play one Greatstone Dragon and we only play 2 Ice Blocks. This is because Greystone Dragon is really good against yellow green, and I think yellow green is going to be played a little bit more. And Ice Blocks was mostly used for like killing Diablos in the coves for Brawl, or Diablos um, with Sisu, or like Robin and Beasts with Brawl, and that's not that will happen a lot less. Obviously, Robin Hood will still be played by Ember Steel, but the ice block value is a little bit lower than it was when Bucky was still played. And the yellow-green discard list plays a lot of cards with less attack than the Bucky list. So I think that it's a little bit easier to deal with your brawls than if you needed to full 4 icebox. Obviously, you can still play the Fang Crossbow that just kills their like reduces by 2, right? So it's still good. So I would play this list in Toronto. I would not play this list, but if you like this list more, you can obviously try this list out and see in testing what you would play. I'm switching to set 5 for now. I will stream my deck like openings. I bought one case, so I'll open that tomorrow when when I can get it. I'll go to the store, get it, and then we'll stream in probably like 8 between 6 to 8 p.m. in European time, so Amsterdam time, so it's European summertime. Um, yeah, I'll throw a link of the on the Twitch down below. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out tomorrow. Uh, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and it's really great to see that the deck actually won something. I'm really proud um, of the effort that and Mantony and a lot of other people in the Discord on 20 Lore Pro made to develop your deck, and obviously congratulations to Elie Pierre for winning Bologna. Thank you guys for watching.